Holly slipped
submit
one
one for
in,
the
but that's
record.
okay. I'm going to take my questions now because I want to follow up on Senator Hawley's line of questioning. Frankly, you'll see me again when everybody else goes. I'll have some questions for others. But let me start off with Pearson and Shore. Okay, the real crux here is what regulations are necessary and how do you regulate? Now, I took a course with a guy, Roy Heidelberg at LSU, who really illuminated some of my thoughts. And I've discussed this with my staff. So first, it almost seems like you need AI to regulate AI. That was Dr. Heidelberg's point. Because so Dr. Shore or Dr. Ms. Pearson, you're saying how quickly it develops. How do you monitor? It seems like you need AI. And so the question is, who builds that AI regulatory model? Because it's so complex. So first, real quickly, Ms. Pearson, do you agree with that? And if so, who should develop that model?
Even today, even for the last 15 years, automated assistance to help achieve compliance with data privacy laws, data governance requirements, which are very related to what we're talking about here, have emerged and have made very large and very successful and new job-creating companies. Like, I don't want to name commercial names, but we're seeing those solutions in place. The market has created them because the laws that apply to data privacy are technology neutral. They just talk about
Gotta
the
go fast, gotta go
to
fast.
the, yeah, and the AI right now is moving very fast, so technology-enabled solutions that the private sector creates can actually keep up with those if you just know the goal. You just need the outcome, and then
But going back to my question, and Dr. Shore comment on, if government is going to keep track of AI and all its whatever, does government need to develop its own AI as a regulatory agency to monitor the AI? Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yes, I would think so, but I think there are a couple of important points here. One is you always need humans
I get that.
heavily involved because AI hallucinates. AI gives us bad answers.
Okay, let me keep going.
Yeah.
Okay, secondly, one of my staff recommended that we need, 100 years ago, Congress could not imagine what antitrust would look like in 2025. So they came up with the Sherman Act, which allowed a common law to develop as regards antitrust. Now, but AI is moving so rapidly. But on the other hand, we cannot imagine what AI is going to look like in 5 years, much less 100. So what do you think of the concept of developing a broad guideline for regulation? Thou shalt not tell a kid to kill himself, but you do it more principally, more broadly. You shall not do self-harm. But then you rely upon the courts to do a common law. Is that too cumbersome, or no, that would be agile enough to address it? Dr. Shore, and answer quickly, please.
I'm really not sure.
Okay.
It's
Ms.
too
Pearson?
complicated.
I think enunciating principles, for example, there needs to be an assessment of risk. There needs to be a transparency in implementation. Vertical by vertical, I think that makes sense.
Ms. Pearson, who is liable if AI actually induced a child to hang himself? Who is liable?
I don't know the answer to that immediately.
Dr. Altman, if a nurse practitioner taking advice from AI commits malpractice, who's liable?
So I'm not a legal, thank you for the question, and I'm not a legal expert, but in my role as a physician, there's a professionalism requirement, and you are the first line of responsibility. If that nurse practitioner can point to other inputs that misled that nurse practitioner, then they might be brought in. But one of the principles here is professionalism and taking responsibility for your decisions.
Article in the Wall Street Journal about how nurses were instructed to follow the instruction of the AI generation, and they got in trouble if they didn't, and she did, and it went bad, and she was merely the fall person, the crumple zone, whatever. That doesn't seem right to me.
I agree. There should always be a human in the loop, and that human needs to have agency for decision making, especially if they're a professional and it's part of their professional code.
I somehow still think that the human in the loop may there simply be for the fall person for the liability, because if you're bringing all this, but no, I'm just 1 month out of medical school or 1 month out of nursing school, and I'm going to make my independent decision. That doesn't seem the kind of behavioral economics of that just doesn't seem right to me.
In medicine, we have a way to bring people from cluelessness to professional, and that pipeline, we know how to do that. You know how to do that. And so I think that we have to stick to those basic tenets that you can have AI advising you, but there is a medical system and a decision hierarchy that is built to protect patients, and that should not be violated.
Senator